It is Texas, Arkansas week, and before I get started, good old-fashioned hook 'em horns. But seriously, this week is so interesting and so important for a lot of different reasons, and it's not even about Arkansas. It is about the University of Texas and their program and where they're hoping to get to and what the trajectory we hope that we are on is embedded in this game in the weirdest possible way that you can ever imagine. So let me take you back a little bit. Let me tell you some things you didn't know you needed to know about this. First and foremost, Sark's very first year, 2021, his second game of the season, I believe it was the second game of the season, was against Arkansas. And Texas was ranked number 15 in the nation. And we go into Arkansas and we get our asses handed to us in Arkansas. It was Sark's very first year. KJ Jefferson was the quarterback of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and we could not buy a tackle. We could not score points on offense. We were not a very good football team. So Sark's first loss at the University of Texas came at the hands of Arkansas in 2021. We traveled to Arkansas. We got our asses handed to us in Arkansas. Here is why that's interesting. We were not good. We were not good at all. We went on to be 5-7 that season, and we were all kind of questioning, like, what are we doing? Who is this team? I don't know. Are we going to be good? Like, is Sark actually a good coach? Like, what is going on? We realized at that time we had a culture issue, and we had to build, and we had to be better, and we had to do all these things, right? The funny thing about that story is we still, to this day in 2024, we have the same offensive coordinator, we have the same defensive coordinator, and we have the same head coach. What also is funny about that is we also have 12 guys on this Texas Longhorn team in 2024 that were on this Texas Longhorn team in 2021. Think about what I just said. We currently have 12 current players on this Texas Longhorn football team that were on this team when we played Arkansas and got our asses handed to us in 2021, when we were 5-7, when we were really bad and everybody was laughing at us and we were a joke. This is a culture game. This is a full circle moment. This is the opportunity for those guys to go and avenge that loss that they took when they were, quite frankly, freshmen. Because the funny thing is, some of them were freshmen and some of them were sophomores probably. But isn't it funny that 12 guys that were played in that game are still on this Texas roster? And you want to know who those 12 guys are? Like, just to name a couple, Jade Barron. So, sound familiar? Jake Majors, our center. Bert Auburn, our kicker, Alfred Collins, our defensive lineman. The list can go on and on and on. And you know what I'll do? I'll put that list up here because it needs to be said. Life happens this way sometimes. Life, you get hit in the mouth, you get punched in the face, you're not good, you don't look great, and now 3 years later, Texas gets to come back and they get to avenge that loss for Sark. At least that's what I'm hoping, and that is what I'm thinking. 12 guys from that team in 2021 get the chance to redeem that loss that Sark took his first season. What more could you ask for? What more could you ask for this Arkansas-Texas matchup this weekend than for Sark to have a full circle moment to go in to Arkansas and to beat them at home and to take care of business and to get his team out of there with a win and to keep on marching and doing the things that they want to do. This is a culture game, and I'm going to talk about that on the other side of this video. Before I get started on this video and tell you all the things and the 3 things I'm going to be looking at and the things I'm going to be focused on, I want to take a minute and throw up the 12 guys that are still on this Texas roster that are starters, that make plays for this team, that are reasons why we're going to win games that are very important to this Texas team. Because what a lot of people fail to realize is this is how life goes, right? You get punched in the mouth, you get a chance to come back and redeem yourself. And if you look at this list, and if you know anything about Texas, you will look at this list and you will know there are starters on this list. Every single person on this list, minus 2 people, are actual, or maybe 3 people, no, 2 people, are actual starters on this team right now. So from 2021, the people on this list are still on this team right now, and they're starters for this team. So I want Texas to win this game because of loyalty. I want Texas to win this game because of culture. I want Texas to win this game because this game will prove the final kind of prove of all proves, or whatever, however you want to say that they are right where they're supposed to be. They're growing the right way. 5-7, 8-4, 11-1. Sky's the limit. So I am super excited to see this Texas team step out and play Arkansas. I hope that they are ready to go. My expectation is that they are ready to go. They should be ready to go. Right now, they're playing really good football. They look great on defense. The offense is kind of chugging along. I'm expecting good things out of this Texas team. And if Texas doesn't do what I think that they should do, I'll have a lot to say after that. But before I get into that, let me talk about the 3 things I'm going to be looking for this game. We're going to be in our icy whites. So let me make sure I mention that because I love icy whites. The icy whites are my favorite uniform that Texas wears. So bring out those icy whites. I want to see them. I want to love them. I want to see them flash on my TV screen. Bring out those icy whites. As some of you don't know, this game is considered a rivalry. It's an old school rivalry. Arkansas doesn't like Texas. Texas doesn't really think about Arkansas, but that doesn't really matter because this is a rivalry game. So we're going to play it as such. And when I was doing my research trying to figure out things about this game, the one thing I want to call out is I was trying to scout Arkansas for the past 3 weeks. The problem with that is the first time I was trying to scout them, they blew out Mississippi State. So that didn't work. The second time I was trying to scout them, they got blown out by Ole Miss. So that didn't really work. And then I thought, oh, I'll watch them play this week when we were playing. But the problem is they had a bye week. So I've watched this Arkansas team blow out a team. I've watched this Arkansas team get blown out. And so there's a couple of things that I've noticed though within those games that they did and they stayed consistent with their core. So I'm going to be talking about the 3 things I'm going to be looking for this game as we head into Arkansas. The first thing is, it should come as no surprise, they have a scrambling quarterback. I want to see how this Texas defense plays against a scrambling quarterback because Texas's defense is built to play against scrambling quarterbacks. They are fast, they get to the edge, and they're able to make plays, and they have great linebackers. So I totally expect Texas to be able to contain Green and to make him have to make throws. The problem, though, with Arkansas is very good at running the football. And a lot of the reasons why they're good at running the football is because they have a running quarterback. So I'm very curious to see how Texas's defense shows up and is able to stop the run and create confusion for the quarterback. I'm also going to look at how they're able to put pressure on him, how they're able to impact the game, and how they're able to kind of change things up with this game. So I'm very curious to see what this is going to look like because the game that Arkansas got blown out, their quarterback was limited and he was hurt. He still found a way to get to his weapons. They still found a way to get a lot of yards, but they were getting blown out. So it's kind of a moot point. But the game where they blew out Mississippi State, they were able to get that offense going. The quarterback looked great. They were able to make some things work. And so I'm very curious to see, obviously, what Arkansas team shows up, but I'm more important to see what Texas is able to do with Arkansas's offense. The other thing I'm going to be looking for is, can Texas create turnovers from this offense? Anytime a team can create turnovers and basically stop your momentum and stop all the things that you're going to do, I think it helps your defense. So I'm very curious to see, can this Texas defense create turnovers on this Arkansas offense? I think that they can. I also think that that would be a huge momentum shift because Texas is going into Arkansas. I'm actually glad that it's an early game because, fans usually aren't as rowdy in early games as they are in night games. But I'm very curious to see how does Texas stop the momentum of Arkansas? If Texas is going to win this game, they have to find a way to stop the momentum of Arkansas. The best way to stop momentum in football, in my opinion, is to get turnovers. And so I'm going to be looking to see, can Texas create turnovers or can we get stops? Because we're going to have to find a way to shut this crowd down and shut this crowd down early. Because I believe if Texas is able to get up on Arkansas and do what they're supposed to do, I think Arkansas is in for a long game. So that's going to be my second thing. So the first thing is going to be, are we going to be able to put pressure on the quarterback, stop the run? What is that going to look like? What is our defense going to do? The second thing is going to be, are we going to be able to get turnovers? Are we going to be able to stop Arkansas's momentum and get the ball back on our side? Because if the ball's on our side, I feel good. And that brings me to my third thing. My third thing is, what does Quinn Ewers look like against Arkansas's defense, which is their weakest point of their team? I think Ewer should have himself a day. I think this is a great opportunity going against a secondary that's just quite frankly not very good. They're not very good statistically. They're not very good anywhere you look. So I'm looking for Quinn to really have himself a day and to really go out there and do what he needs to do. The other thing is Arkansas's defensive line isn't very good either. So I'm looking for our offensive line to have a good day, to give Quinn time for him to be able to work. So having said all of that, all of the things that Arkansas does well, I think Texas will have an answer for that. And then obviously on the flip side, my hope is that this Texas offense that I saw last week is the Texas offense that's here to stay, because I don't want to see the other one. And so I hope that we're just able to keep building on the momentum and keep doing the things we need to do. I would love to see an Arch Manning I would love to see an Arch Manning fourth quarter. That would be fantastic. Arch Manning coming into the fourth because we're ahead by 30 points. Yes, sign me up for that any day of the week and twice on Sundays. It should come as no surprise to anybody. I'm picking Texas to win this game. I think Texas is supposed to win this game. Texas is the better team on paper. Texas is the better team when coaching. Texas is just better. And so I expect Texas to win this game. Although it is a rival, I do expect Arkansas to come out hot, and I expect Texas to take a deep breath and sustain whatever it is that's happening, and to take a deep breath and to come out and do what they're supposed to do. I've said this now in a few videos and it hasn't happened yet. It would be nice if we could put our defense out on the field as opposed to our offense so we could get the ball starting the second half. Hasn't happened yet, but I'll keep speaking it into existence and maybe it will happen. But at the end of the day, I'm picking Texas to win this game. I think they should win this game. I think they should take care of business. This is one of those games I'm going to be interested to see if they cover the spread, because I always say like good teams cover, and I believe that, but this is a rival. So rivals are hard for me. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I'm rolling with my Longhorns, and this is the culture game for me. This is the Sark redemption game for me. If Sark ever had a redemption game, this is going to be the redemption game that I'm hoping for Sark. And so I hope he gets in there, takes care of business, and I get to come back and we're celebrating a win. So I will end this video here. As always, hook 'em.